Hello everyone and welcome back to the GCOR show. I know this episode is a little bit later than what it should have been, but hey, better late than never. Today we're going to be talking about the greatest GCOR season in history. GCOR Gen 3 Season 2. What a season we've just had. We've had everything. We've had storylines, we've had rivalries, we've had controversy, we've had everything. We've had rising stars and rising talents. And wow, really the gap between the two title challengers really shows how close this championship was. This season the championship was not decided on points, it was decided on the amount of race wins, as both Chiconas and Dino Bambino finished the season off with a grand total of 236 points, with Chick just winning it because he had 5 race wins to Dino Bambino's 4. But let's really break this season down. We got to pre-season in Bahrain. We didn't really know what to expect. I mean, honestly, obviously the season starts 0 points, so theoretically anyone could win the championship. But going into this season, we already had a few names on our mind, that being obviously the reigning world champion at the time, Dino Bambino. Chicona 75, he was going to have fire in his belly after narrowly losing out to the championship the season before. Coward was coming back. Obviously, he's already, a one-time GCOR world champion and GCOR icon. So he was going to be in this title fight. And then also new names such as Foop, Hurricane, Mijimat, Ollie Freeman, Nas. Names which we know can challenge for the win. But yeah, Bahrain, we got to Bahrain and it was actually Juice Lilman setting the times. Obviously, I'm sure some teams were sandbagging. But then we got into race number 1 and Dino Bambino started his title defense off in an abysmal fashion. He was unable to participate in qualifying, making him start from P7. But in typical Dino Bambino fashion, he went on to go from last to first and win the first race of the season with Chicona 75, only 5 seconds back. And from that race on, we knew we were going to have a title fight. Race 2, it was actually a Coward domination. Coward dominated the whole of the Australian Grand Prix weekend, not only getting pole, not only getting the sprint race win, but also getting the feature race win. And in his bid to become GCOR champion for the second time, he also became the first man since, I think it was Chico 975 in the Gen 2 era to score a weekend sweep, and the first man in the Gen 3 era to get a weekend sweep. After that, Dino Bambino, though, it was business as usual, as he went on to take victory at China in that chaotic race. Although it wasn't as, it was actually closer than what some people think it was. Hurricane was behind by only about 3 seconds, so it was quite close. But after that, Chick knew that he had to get into his AAA game, and so he did, taking victory. 5 wins in the remaining races. I think it was 9 remaining races. Chick took 5 wins, so he knew what he had to do. And yeah, that's why we had such a good season. I think Chick this season was on the level of Dino Bambino. And I think because those two were so close to each other, they were pushing each other on the whole season. It was a ding-dong fight. Honestly, championship standings, championship leader, was changing race by race. One race to be Chick, one race to be Dino. So I think that's why this season was so good. And also, we had rivalries as well. Not only between Chick and Dino, but between Ollie Freeman and Foop. Ollie Freeman having some strong words for Foop in the end of season presentation. Saying that, he just doesn't like him. Obviously, the two have come together on track a few times. But, a little bit of a rivalry brewing there.
What are your objectives and aims for next season?
Well, 2 things really. I just want to get a race win and beat Foop, really, because I don't really like him.
But yeah. Why Foop? What's going on there?
I don't like him, basically. It's
Why?
simple as that. Well, Kota, he rammed in the back of me, and he just goes on about me, doesn't he? But yeah.
Have you got no respect for him?
No, not really. But he's also similar level to me as well, so he's a decent target, I think.
All right, already getting some rivalries in this.
Yeah,
yeah. We also had obviously Mercedes versus Red Bull. Mercedes actually, fun fact, not leading the Constructors' Championship, not a single stage throughout the season until at the end of the final Grand Prix, when they just managed to snatch the Constructors' title by 4 points to become 4-time Constructors' World Champions. And obviously, we have another storyline of Hurricane, rising star, a driver who, at the start of last season, was struggling so much at Ferrari, but now has found a home at Alpine and is excelling and is flourishing better than ever, even taking his first ever race victory at his home track at Coda earlier this season. What a season we've had this year. I don't know if next season we'll be able to pip that of this, but well, I guess there's only one way to find out. We also had some controversy as well in the final Grand Prix with many fans, especially the fans on Dino Bambino's side, calling the championship rigged. What are my thoughts on that? I think, obviously, I've rewatched the incident between Chick and Dino, and not only myself, but many other people have called it a racing incident, because as much as Chick could have backed out, Dino also could have left him some room as well. But what's done is done. What matters is that both Chicona 75 and Dino Bambino have massive respect for each other, and well, whilst the Chick fan base and the Dino Bambino fan base are busy fighting it out, at least we know that both drivers respect each other greatly. That incident between Dino Bambino and Midget Matt, that was very unfortunate. Matt did nothing wrong. I mean, Matt was just braking normally. But I think, obviously, Dino Bambino was on slightly older tyres, and maybe that contributed to him rear-ending Midget Matt. But at the end of the day, these things happen. I mean, we were treated to a brilliant season. Can we not forget Chicona 75 disqualification at Coda? That was massive for the season. But also, that Grand Prix at Monaco, what a race that was, with Noah taking the win. But obviously he had that 5-second penalty for track limits, which obviously, he lost that race win at the end. He lost that race win to Chicona 75, which was crucial. And that was where the Red Bulls really struggled, as both Noah and Chick lapped both Foop and Dino Bambino in that race weekend. But what a season. Hopefully next season we can have an even better season. And it's going to be the first season on the F123 model of cars. So the cars will be they have more traction, more grip, although rear locking will be easier. So that should be an interesting one to find out. But thank you for being with us throughout the whole of this season. Hopefully we can see you next season. There'll still be some videos, hopefully, to do with GCOR in the off-season, such as transfer rumours, new transfers, and maybe even, an interview with another driver. But for now, that's the GCOR season over, and we'll see you again in pre-season at Bahrain this season. Thank you and goodbye.